5 o'clock on the dot. Actually, it's a minute past the dot. Dylan and Ian, welcome. All right, Robert, Brad, Robo Puff. All right. Let y'all get in here. Hey, Jason, Chris, Dave, Brother Dave, Chris Wilson, John Adam, there you are, bub. Mailed your record out, John, yesterday, the one that I forgot to put in. There's Dennis. Don't worry, I'm going to get the little monster out of the way here in a minute. I'm trying to keep track of this. I started it and it said that my broadcast had failed. We'll see. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the last break on through of 2020. Glad to see 2020 get on down the road. Hope 2021 is going to be better for us all. We'll see. I ain't expecting too much. Don't think. Well, man, I hope everybody had a great Christmas Eve. We do stuff on Christmas Eve here with our family, and it was good. We did things that that Roy Cooper would not be happy about, and I don't care. And if you're listening to this, Roy Cooper or any of his minions, call a cop. Come and arrest us. Nothing like a good old cherry Coke Zero in a ancient samurai cup. That's badass, ain't it? Yeah, oh, don't worry. Sophia's along for the ride. I got some nice tea, hot tea in here. But yeah, we had a great Christmas, man. You know, all the kids were here, the grandkid. And, you know, I got another grandkid on the way. I don't know if I mentioned it on here or not. But, all right. I'm just reading y'all's messages. I haven't zoned out or nothing. Good time. And I hope all you guys did too. You know what I'm going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about New Year's Eve. Not what I'm going to do this New Year's Eve, because I can tell you what that is. Nothing. Man, I don't even like New Year's Eve. I never really did like New Year's Eve. All the amateur drinkers pushing it to the limit. Nah. Just don't care that much about it. Tell you something I do. All right, now is this plug time right here. Well, first I'm going to show you something I got. I got this yesterday from my old pal, the Widowmaker. That's some sweet stuff right there, ain't it, bud? Old-timey heat transfer type thing. Oh, yeah. When I get these, I can't decide if I'm going to wear them or not, or just hang them up in here so I can look at them. Even back in the old days when that's the only kind of shirts we could get, man, they wouldn't last long. A couple washings and they're done, man. My brother gave me a couple last year. I didn't even cut the sleeves out of these because I intended not to wear them. I meant to hang them up in here. I wish you could get a better view of what's in here, man. It is a cave. But he gave me this one. Original from the 70s. Myrtle Beach Gay Dolphin. That was our big gift store down there in Myrtle Beach. It's still there, I think. I'm not sure. I haven't been to Myrtle Beach in forever. Here's my favorite right there. Oh, yeah. That was last year. But, you know, one of the things I miss most about the COS, and for those of you who think I mean the Church of Satan, I was never a part of the Church of Satan. I don't believe in groups. The only group I ever joined beside the Cub Scouts was ANTiSEEN. Well, and my groups before that. The COS, the Confederacy of Scum. It's not what the show's about today, but I'm just telling you about one of the things I miss about it. Well, it was a lot of people had the misunderstanding that it was a bunch of groups that sounded alike, thought alike, and had the same mindset about everything. That was not true. We had the same delivery, I think. In other words, we weren't playing around. And we were like-minded, okay? But it just wasn't like, you know, it wasn't 10 bands that all sound like ANTiSEEN. We all had our own sound. And one of the annoying things that happened later is that any band like in the United States could think they could just put a rebel flag sticker on their guitar cases or wear a black vest and they're in the Confederacy of Scum, and it did not work that way. I'll go more into that when I actually do a show about Confederacy of Scum. Matter of fact, I think I may do that for my first one of 2021. Let me look here at the FLOTUS calendar. That would be January 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. January 7th. Well, there's JP. Jimmy Repo. But one of the things I missed, besides getting to see all these people from all different parts of the country and the world once a year, was when we were all still functioning and putting records out. And for a while there, I mean, it was an avalanche of stuff, you know, and you'd always look forward to getting some good quality COS product in the mail. Well, I got some in the mail yesterday. This came direct to me from San Antonio, Texas. Now the home of Rancid Vat. So I got this from Marla V. Now look at this. Get a good look. This is cool. This is a cool cover, man. This is a full-length LP. Let me see what the title is. Tabulous Table Stains. I got it there. I can't read this. It's like a black metal album. Let's see. Tabulous of human drama collected like food stains on a filthy restaurant tablecloth. Okay. Bunch of songs. A lot of old Rancid Vat staples. Frozen Dead, Deeds of the Damned, which we covered. Testify, which we learned Testify from Rancid Vat. When the Roll is Called Down Under, and their version of Rock and Roll All Night. Silk screen cover. I'm not sure. I think there's only 300 pressed. So if you are interested in getting one of these, I would suggest contacting Marla V on Facebook. Write her a message or leave a message on one of her posts, so, you know, in case you're not friends, but you still want one. Hell, they may be gone already, man. 300 pressing of something. It don't take long for it to go. But yeah, we got a Christmas card from Marla this year, and you know, the wife and I, we didn't do Christmas cards this year. It's I feel like it's a dying tradition, along with a lot of other things. But I hate that old time traditions like that are going away. Let me make sure my volume's up. I know I'm talking kind of low today, but once again, in case you just tuned in, new Rancid Vat LP. Now, it's of old material. It's the lineup that had Steve Wilson as the singer, Dean Miles played drums, and look at this early picture of Marla and the Whiskey Rebel right there. Yeah, they were going at it a few years before us. I guess you could talk about all your favorite lineups of Rancid Vat. They, like us, had, you know, a lot of different lineups. I don't know. I mean, for me, I think my favorite was the Philadelphia Cosmo Eric Perfect Marla V Whiskey Rebel lineup. But a very close second would have to be the original with the Steve. And actually, ANTiSEEN did a few shows with them out on the West Coast, and yeah, they were crazy. I don't think Steve Wilson ever came down to the Carolinas, though. But I just see my thing paused, but it's back on. So Malcolm told me that it just skips and keeps going. So I'm not going to, you know, try to raise so much hell whenever I see it do that, if I can help it. I don't know. I may go ballistic and tear everything up. Never can tell. But yeah, I don't like New Year's. But man, you know, I think the first year, like we played our first show on October 1st, 1983. Now, I want to say that we played January or December 31st, 1983, going into 1984. But my memory could be wrong on that, and it could be going from 1984 to 85, but I really think it was the original thing I just said, because I know we were all, you know, everybody was so concerned about 1984. Ooh, 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 1984. But yeah, that was the original lineup of me, Joe Young, Bill Cates, and Brad Keeter. Rest all their souls. We played in a friend of ours' apartment on a New Year's Eve. Our friend's name was Clay Rogers, and he lived off of, I think it was Ridgecrest, over there right off of Monroe. Monroe Road, 7th Street. 7th Street turns into Monroe. And it was still kind of the same kind of neighborhood it was back then, except people like us could afford rent there. Probably not the case anymore. But, man, it was the things we did back then without even thinking about it. You know, we're just like, okay, well, we're playing in a living room. Well, you know, we're known for our big destructive shows, so we got to still keep that intact, even if it's in someone's house. Which means we lined the inside kick drum with a full long row of Black Cat fireworks. Like, we taped them up in there, and we had a square where we glued a bunch of smoke bombs together, making one big fuse, and someone would be behind us lighting it, you know, when the big finale comes up. And we, you know, smashed the drum kit, threw stuff. Joe smashed his guitar. He had this encore with that famous picture of Iggy Pop naked on the back of it. We had played this guy's apartment, you know, prior, but we didn't go full tilt boogie like we did at this show. You know, when it came time toward the end, man, it's like the fireworks went off, the smoke bombs went off. I mean, man, you couldn't see in there. Someone opened the front door, and I just took the kick drum, and keep in mind, there's smoke bellowing out of it, and we threw it out the front door, and it rolled out the front yard. And from what I was told, it hit the front bumper of a cop car that was parked out there, and they came in and they were like, "What the hell?" You know, but they didn't do anything. It's incredible. There were a lot of people there too. We were the first band to play. We wanted to play first, you know. And I can't remember who all played. I'm sure Clay's band, Social Savagery, played. NRG from Hickory more than likely played. And the only other group I can think that may have been there would have been Death Row from Columbia, South Carolina. But that was a fun New Year's Eve. That was a good one. I can't remember playing a whole lot. I mean, we played probably a handful more New Year's Eves. People would always get us, you know, to play their clubs. And there used to be this very popular club in Charlotte. It was over in the what's called the Noda section. For those of you who are not from here, that means North Davidson Street. And it was a one of the community, you know, arts communities that it used to be a real rundown area. It's the area we did our 35-year anniversary show. Matter of fact, the theater that we did it in used to be a porn theater. And that's what was going on that side of town back in 1983, 84. But through the years, they had a lot of art galleries there. They had what they called art crawls. Tattoo shops popped up. Restaurants popped up. It became one of those real thriving areas that people, you know, wanted to go to. And then, of course, like in most places, they go, "Oh, this is a really great part of town. Let's buy up all the businesses, land and buildings and stuff, and let's put condos here." And that has happened to a good bit of it. But I cannot remember what. Yeah, I do. This was going from 2000 to 2001. We played a very popular restaurant in Noda called Fat City. Now, Fat City wasn't really set up for bands, but hey, fuck it. We got to put on the big show. It's the only time we ever played Fat City, and so at this point, what did we decide we're going to do? Well, the stage. This is when we were the lineup of me, Joe, Barry, and Doug Knipe, the boys from Brutalsville, Bad Will Ambassadors lineup, and the stage could hardly contain us. But we figured, hey, we need to put a table out here. We need to do the thumbtacks and catch the fucker on fire. So that's what we did. I'm thinking even then we were going, this might not be the best of our great ideas that we ever had. But show must go on, especially back then when you don't give a shit. But yeah, I put the table in between me and Joe. The end of the table went out to the middle of the stage. I got on some amp cases or something, and I put the thumbtacks all over the table. Then I doused it with the lighter fluid, caught it on fire, and tried to get up and down through it while the fire was still going. Which did pretty good because we were in such a little tight area, man. There was no big, breeze coming from anywhere. You don't even think, well, it's gonna, blown up in someone's face and stuff. But well, you got a show to do. And so I get up, I just turn around and just jump. Didn't even think about it. Just jumped right, did a butt splash right through the table. There's thumbtacks all in me and stuff. And then when I went, I got so little clearance to jump. It was basically just like dropping right into it. And my leg caught on fire. And another thing that probably wasn't such a great idea is me, Joe, and Doug were getting a little right with some champagne that we had brought. And Doug we end the song and he just kind of looks down. Doug is 3 sheets to the wind. I ain't gonna lie to you. He just looks down at me, and I'm just laying there, man. I'm just like, like I always would lay there for a minute to assess if there was any damage. Barry always thought it was me selling, but I guess it was a little bit, but I was just like kind of going, all right, is anything broken? Can I move? And my leg is on fire, man. I was wearing the long-haired weirdo pants, and they're on fire. Doug just reaches over, grabs a bottle of champagne, and just pours it on my leg, like laughing the entire time. Your bandmate's on fire, and what do? Well, first you laugh, then you pour champagne on them. I guess that was a fun New Year's Eve. I'm trying to think of any more. I remember, this is a name you're going to hear a little bit because we're going to start talking about this period some. It's like there was a friend of mine Jeff and Joe and Tom O'Keefe named Charles Inman. And Charles was who we considered our head of security. You know, I guess you figure you get the biggest guy, the biggest troublemaker, make him your head of security, everything's cool. But and this is the weird time. This is a time of a lot of drinking in our band. We were all drinkers, and a couple of potheads. But if any of that other stuff crept in, man, those people didn't last long. We didn't tolerate it. Yep, Chucky. He was called Chucky Inman. Big as a bear, strong as an ox, seemed to feel zero pain. And just you know, I'm going to tell you a quick New Year's Eve story. My brother, at one time, lived across Independence, which at the time was the busiest street in Charlotte, hands down. It was the main drag. Yes, Brad, he did rip a car door off a car. But I lived on the other side of Independence. Greg lived in an apartment on the other side. And Greg was having a New Year's Eve party. Well, me and Charles decided, man, we ain't going nowhere for New Year's Eve. Fuck New Year's Eve. But that was prior to the 5th of Evan Williams we had drank. Then, you know, it was about 11:45. We decided we need to go somewhere for New Year's Eve. Well, first thing Chucky does when we get outside, he tackles a shrubbery bush. That's all those like real sharp leaves. And then our drunk asses are trying to cross Independence. Man, how we survived that, it's one of those weird stories that you wonder how it ever happened. But, you know, here we are in the city limits of Charlotte, and we go up the stairs of my brother's house. We found out it was 12 o'clock, so Charles just takes out his .357, boom, 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 shoots it into the ground, hands it to me. I shoot what's left of the clip into the ground, and we just go in the house like, you know, no big deal. But the cops didn't come around then. I don't know why, but so it was one of those nights. I don't think much chaos and destruction happened after that. I think we kind of started to really mellow out and calm down after that. But, you know, I was going to tell you guys a very rare ANTiSEEN collectible, if you ever see one, is back during this time we had a security crew, because we were attracting so many people at the clubs back then, and the shows would get rough, man. The security was mainly to keep any of it from spilling over onto the stage and tearing our shit up, because then we'd get in it. But we had shirts made for all the guys. The red t-shirts that said ANTiSEEN Stage Security, like right here on the left breast of the thing. I don't know if it had a pocket or not, but it just said that in white. And then on the back had the saying, "We will kick your ass." Now, those were given to our friends, you know, guys that we knew for years. And you know, those guys that were going to be at the show anyway. But they all got in for free, and they just had, you know, kind of gave the stage, the club security a break, because all these guys would be there, and they would take care of any stuff that went on in the audience too, you know. But man, I'm thinking there was only maybe a dozen of those shirts, and if you ever find one, it's a rare thing. But contact me first and let me know. Let me tell you whether it's authentic or not. There's a lot of stuff like on eBay and stuff that people say is ours or was mine and stuff, and it's not. So run it by me first. I'll see some people down here. Let me take a look at what's going on here. Well, there's my pal Bloody Mess. Bloody, I heard out what all happened out to you on the West Coast, man. I hope you're doing good. I know you went through a rough time with those fires and stuff, lost everything. I mean, contact me, you know, privately if there's anything I can help you with, okay? But Bloody Mess. And right there, my childhood friend, the guy I started a band with, my first ever band, Kamikaze, Dean Turner. How you doing, Dean? Hope you're doing good, man. But, hell, that's about all I got for you today. Let's see, I wanted to tell you about the Rancid Vat record. And if any of you want the copies of the Christmas record, I got to tell you this, man. There's about 14 left. So if you want them, get them. And you know they're not on the website. You have to go to PayPal, ANTiSEENJC@yahoo.com. Send me $20 if you're in the U.S. Tell me what it's for. And make sure I have your address, man. People have been not sending me their address, and then I'm having to study and get it. And I don't like studying. I was never good at it, and I'm not now. So about 14 left. Get them. What else? Oh, yeah, the 10-inch. Man, the 10-inch is about sold out. I suggest getting them from before I hang, because we are just about out. And you call them the Walking Dead hat. I call them the Dawn of ANTiSEEN hats. But yours got mailed today. Or yesterday. It got mailed yesterday. And speaking of the mail now, you guys know the mail is fucked up. They got 1 billion more packages this year than they anticipated because of all the shutdowns. Everybody, you know, ordering everything for Christmas online. So, please, if you didn't get your stuff yet, man, one guy wrote that he was in Richmond, Virginia, and it took 26 days to get from Rock Hill, South Carolina, to Richmond. Dave Prino that's on here, I sent him a number one of the pink covered Jerry A split. Man, that was what, Dave? 5 weeks? And you're just in Pennsylvania? So, man, I think this stuff's going to get to you, but it's going to take a long time. I told everybody's ordering Christmas records, you ain't getting these before Christmas. So, but I guess don't be afraid to order, but if you are, man, just, you know, I guess wait a little bit. But you need to get some of this stuff before it's gone now. And if you look on my page and the ANTiSEEN page, I got the autographed photo of me and Gigi, and I'll autograph it to you. and write something on it. You know, whatever you want me to do. Yeah, Johnny Breedlove. Yes, as I see that Johnny's out in Washington State, and it got there like that. So, what are you gonna do? Let's see if I got anything to show you right quick. Man, I'm gonna tell you what though. I hope whatever you guys do this New Year's Eve, hope you have fun. Hope you stay safe. I don't want to see any remembrance posts on the next day. But thanks for sticking with me here on Break On Through for nearly a year now. In a couple months, man, it'll be a year. And one of the most crazy times I think any of us have ever experienced. And I'm glad you want to come around, hang out in the house, listen to me talk, tell a few stories. I really do like it when you guys write me and tell me stuff you'd like to talk about, because sometimes I don't think about ANTiSEEN all the time. I don't think about what we did. I have to have someone tell me. Hey, tell me about when y'all, But yeah, we'll talk about it. But otherwise, I love all of you. And I know we're the ANTiSEEN, the meanest band in the world. But we do love our fans. And I love each and every one of you. And I want to see you back here on the first Break On Through of 2021. So until then, Jeff Clayton, the unimpeachable President